My name is Anari Pradhan, and I'm host of Klimatic Scale, and I'm with...
I'm Martin. I'm CEO of GridHive Energy, and we develop and operate battery energy storage systems, large-scale utility scales on our own, and also support small and medium-sized enterprises for their electrification pathways.
Awesome! Great to meet you, Martin. So, you're a partner of Tecloman. So, what got you excited about working with turnkey solutions like Tecloman?
I think nowadays it's very important to have not only like the hardware solution in the background or a partner only providing hardware solutions, but really having a partner with turnkey solutions from hardware, software, services, and also the ability from the product range to cover from the residential, but also to the utility scale, all the products we need. And also when it comes, for example, to our customers, the small and medium-sized enterprises, they especially need sometimes solutions with backup systems and generator integrations. So more critical for that, what others cannot provide, and Tecloman is perfectly fitting.
Nice. And what are customers seeking now that they weren't before?
One more?
What are customers seeking now that they haven't been seeking before?
Well, especially when it comes to the battery storage systems, over the last years we saw a huge decline just in the prices per kilowatt hours. It was always about the prices, in fact, of kilowatt hours. Today it is more about how can I get everything out of my investment, with what system. I can also look into the future, and I will have in 10, 15 years still the ability to further integrate other parts, other systems into my ecosystem to be prepared of that already. So it's not only about the price point, it's about the future-proof solution, what we can provide to the end customers for delivering but also operating the systems to get the returns, what they actually need.
And what major trends are you seeing that are really reshaping the BESS industry?
Well, on the one side, we do see, especially in Europe, in Austria, Germany, that utility scale battery storage systems are becoming increasingly important to stabilize the grid, to reduce grid costs, because the solar power was too much in comparison to the balancing systems. So we now need more and more utility scale storage systems in the market. And on the other side, also solution with the electrification of small and medium-sized enterprises on their electrification pathway to be able to have heating, mobility, and everything generated out of electricity, and therefore having their own fleet and also their own headquarters completely electrified and having an autarky through their own systems. So these are the two pathways, and for both it's all about also the returns and the security for being future-proof.
Okay, very nice. And what would you say really makes the most successful projects successful?
The most successful projects are those who tick, I would say, all the boxes what you need from the grid side, but also on the commercial side, from the technical perspective, and having also the end consumer or like the operator on board on all of this from the very first beginning, and having partners in the background. They can not only support with the cheapest price point, but in fact with a turnkey solution from the installation until after-sales service support, what is really relevant for the operational phase.
So what would you say distinguishes the most successful projects?
The most successful projects are those where the operator, the supplier, and all the stakeholders are in one boat from the very first beginning of the project. So when it comes to the grid operator, when it comes to the operator of the system, when it comes to the investor, of course, and also the supplier of hardware, software components, and EPC, they have to be on board from the very beginning to make sure the commercials, but also the technical side, will make this project successful and work out. Not only from the very first beginning with the cheapest price point, but especially in long term, when the project, for example, needs a re-equipment, the solution provider is there and still facilitates the operator with the perfect solution.
And so there's a lot of instability and uncertainty right now globally, but what gives you hope about the energy transition?
Well, in fact, the discussions, what we all hold, is a lot driven by politicians. But in fact, and we are working very often together with small and medium-sized companies, industrial companies, in fact, helping them on their electrification pathway by installing solar system, PV storage systems, backup systems, electrifying their fleets. This all knocks in their price point of their energy, what is one of the most important, most critical parts of their cost structure. So that gives them stability, planning security long term. And today it is not about subsidies anymore, because the commercials are already in place. And this is something what I also say to my clients: don't wait for the next subsidy, because the time you're losing in between, you're still having no certainty about your price points on the cost structure. And you can knock in almost 60-70% of your whole electricity costs or energy costs in long term, which is for every company essential.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for your interview, and I hope you have a wonderful time at Intersolar.
Thank you very much.